Well, I've Steve Jones here with the Hardscape channel. I've convinced Andy to stick around and do another interview. Andy, you know, you've got. We talked earlier about your wealth of experience in the industries. You know, the concrete paver and the clay brick industries. Um, to have a conversion. And, it's not religious in any way, but you were converted from a concrete guy to a clay paver guy. Tell me, I mean, it's obviously something that you're happy with these days. I can see it in you.
You see the sparkle in my eyes?
Well, that was probably from the glitter from the dance pole, but I mean...
Okay. Okay. I don't know if I call it a conversion. I think they both have their place. Obviously concrete pavers control the majority of the market. The industry has done a fabulous job in promoting that.
Mm-hmm.
The brick industry was so concerned about face brick that they didn't concentrate much on pavers, and they're kind of scrambling to keep up. There's still some old guard that are face brick, face brick, face brick. But they both have their place. Brick obviously is in great demand in cities where it has a tradition of being used for paving material. When you're doing streetscapes and renovations and they want to keep it the old world classic character, certainly brick has its place there. It also typically has a higher compressive strength than concrete, which most architects and designers don't know. That it has that higher compressive strength. The color's not going to fade on it. Now, concrete paver manufacturers are using all kinds of additives and devices to try to maintain that color, but they haven't gotten to the point where brick is just not going to fade over time.
Well, there's just no question. The richness of brick,
Absolutely.
you can't imitate it in concrete.
Right.
And even if you did, it would fade shortly thereafter.
Sure.
Somewhat.
Sure.
Not that concrete doesn't have its place, and not that it isn't beautiful in its own right, but it's the qualities, it's the textures, it's the, like I say, the richness of color that you can't not imitate.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, and as far as an installer goes, it requires an installer to pay a little more attention. It's not that difficult to do brick, but you do have to take a little more time, a few more string lines, some chalk lines.
Build those modules.
Build the modules just to keep things nice and straight. And depending on the type of brick, dimensional tolerances could go from very good to, not so good. And again, depending on the manufacturing process and how much it's shrinking. Brick typically is going to cost more because it takes longer to make. Concrete pavers can be made very quickly and shipped within a few days of its manufacturing.
And the cost of energy to produce these products,
Absolutely,
clay
yes.
consumes much more energy to produce.
Exactly. Although they do really recycle a lot of that, but it takes approximately a week or so to get it from the time it's produced through a kiln, packaged, and ready to go. So it does take more time. One of the reasons why it's more costly, and we're often in a price-sensitive situation where let's go with the cheapest thing right now and not worry about what it's going to look like 7 or 10 or 20 years down.
That's an interesting thing, because I try to, when you actually talk about the materials, and of course, even clay runs the gamut of pricing.
Yes.
But if you look at the total project price, and if you've doubled the cost of your materials from clay to concrete, your actual project cost has not increased a huge amount, because really it's the excavation, the base work, the labor that are your main components of cost.
Sure. Exactly.
And the materials. While it is a single large number on a project, it still, as a percentage of the total project cost, is not that critical.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
When I see guys fighting 10 cents a square foot,
yes.
beating up somebody for 10 cents a square foot on a product, I just go, you've cost more in your time than the money that you save, and you've then put at risk the quality of the job.
Exactly. And as contractors, if they were to go out and learn better methods for doing excavation and sub-base and base work, they would more than make up that money.
Become efficient at the physical part of what they do, the labor part.
Exactly.
Employing tools.
But just to go back to the brick concrete, some of the nicest jobs I've ever seen incorporate both concrete pavers and brick, or natural stones such as bluestone, along with brick. Just that nice contrast in color. And
here we are at the Rosen Resort in Orlando, and I'm looking out the window here, and of course the camera can't see it, but I look at the roof texture. You know, are those clay or concrete roof tiles? Can you tell?
From this point, I can't tell. No.
But very
Right,
nice
yes.
colors. And then you have concrete and clay pavers down below.
Absolutely.
You have a stuccoed texture.
Yes.
And I mean, I look at that detail, and I look, you know, and you talk about using the different materials to really to make a project
Right.
stand out. And this is a perfect
Sure,
example.
this is. It has a nice mixture of clay pavers and concrete pavers, and
Materials,
Yes.
textures. Oh, it's
absolutely,
it gives a flavor to the place.
exactly. Now it's got you know, a nice feel to it. Just coming in and seeing all the unit segmental pavers.
Yeah.
You know, both concrete and clay, and they intermingled them. They mixed them, clay in one section, concrete in another.
Well, the architect, and I'm not always a fan of architects is what they do, but this case, the architect did, in my opinion, a very, very nice job.
Good. Yeah, certainly it is a beautiful location here.
Yeah.
Great spot for a conference.
Well, Andy, I want to thank you for all your work at ICPI and your commitment to the industry to help us do better, get better at what we do,
Well,
and
thank you,
help
Steve.
others.
I've done about 1/100th of what you have, so you deserve the thanks.
Uh-oh.
You've done a great deal.
Well,
Great deal for
I
this
appreciate
industry.
that. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.